I am hearing right now from sources deep within the building in Berea that the Cleveland Browns have made a significant move to bolster their roster for the upcoming 2025 campaign. This is an Adam Schefter bomb for all you die-hard Browns fans out there. The front office, led by General Manager Andrew Berry, has officially signed two intriguing players to reserve/futures contracts. We are talking about punter Nick Constantinuel and the explosive wide receiver and return specialist Isaiah Wooden. This is the kind of under-the-radar move that can absolutely transform a special teams unit, and my sources say the Browns are ecstatic about the potential here. Before we dive into the deep analytics of these signings and why they matter for the dog pound, I need you to do two things. First, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. We provide the most urgent, precise, and insider NFL news you will find anywhere on the internet. Second, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, where are you watching this breaking news from? Whether you are in downtown Cleveland, across the lake, or watching internationally, let us know. Now, let us get into the meat of this story because the details are fascinating. The standout name here is undoubtedly Isaiah Wooden. If you follow the Canadian Football League, you know exactly why this is a massive headline. Wooden is coming off a 2025 season where he absolutely terrorized opposing coverage units. He finished the year leading the entire CFL in punt return average, a feat that is incredibly difficult given the different field dimensions and rules up north. But it did not stop there. Wooden also finished second in the league in kickoff return average. We are talking about a player with legitimate game-breaking speed and the vision to find seams that others simply do not see. My sources indicate that the Browns have been scouting the CFL market heavily, looking for that specific spark that was missing from their return game last season. Wooden represents a low-risk, extremely high-reward investment for a team that is always looking to gain an edge on third-phase play. Then you have Nick Constantinuel, the punter. Now, some might overlook a punter signing, but in Cleveland, where the wind coming off Lake Erie can change a game in an instant, having a reliable and powerful leg is non-negotiable. Constantinuel has been on the NFL radar for a while, and the Browns are giving him the opportunity to compete and provide much-needed depth. This move signals that Andrew Berry is already looking toward the 2025 offseason program, ensuring that the roster is filled with hungry, talented athletes who can push the veterans during training camp. The reserve/futures contract is a specific mechanism used by NFL teams to secure players who were not on an active roster at the end of the regular season. These players do not count against the current cap or roster limit until the new league year begins. It is a strategic play, and for the Browns, securing a talent like Wooden now prevents other teams from swooping in once the Super Bowl is over. Think about the landscape of the league right now. Even teams like the Chicago Bears, now under the leadership of head coach Ben Johnson, are scouring the developmental leagues for talent. The competition for these hidden gems is fierce. By acting today, the Browns have secured a player who was arguably the best returner in professional football outside of the NFL last year. Wooden's journey is one of perseverance. He has spent time honing his craft, and his 2025 stats in the CFL were nothing short of eye-popping. Scouts have noted his elite acceleration and his ability to maintain top speed while making lateral cuts. In the NFL, where the new kickoff rules have prioritized returners who can hit the hole quickly, a player like Wooden is a strategic weapon. The Browns special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone is known for his aggressive and disciplined approach. Bringing in a player with Wooden's pedigree suggests that Ventrone had a significant say in this acquisition. The team is clearly looking to upgrade their field position battle. Last year, the Browns had moments of brilliance, but they lacked that consistent threat to take it to the house on every touch. Constantinuel's inclusion is also a calculated move. While the Browns have had stability at punter, you can never have enough competition in camp. Constantinuel brings a collegiate resume that showed great hang time and directional accuracy, two traits that are essential for surviving the AFC North's brutal winter weather. This is the beauty of the NFL offseason. It never truly stops. While the playoffs are still unfolding, Andrew Berry is working the phones and the scouting reports to find the 52nd and 53rd men who could eventually become starters. Isaiah Wooden and Nick Constantinuel are now officially part of the Cleveland Browns family, and the expectations are that they will arrive in Berea ready to fight for a spot on the 53-man roster. This is an urgent update for a team that refuses to stay stagnant. The Browns are building, they are refining, and they are looking for speed. Stay tuned as we continue to break down what this means for the depth chart and the salary cap moving forward.
Now, let's go deeper into the laboratory of Andrew Berry and analyze the strategic implications of these two signings. When you look at the Cleveland Browns salary cap and roster construction, every dollar and every roster spot is meticulously planned. By signing Nick Constantino and Isaiah Wooden to reserve futures contracts, the Browns are effectively buying low on high-ceiling talent. Let's start with the Isaiah Wooden signing, because the impact there could be felt immediately in the 2025 season. We have to talk about the new NFL kickoff rules. These rules have fundamentally changed how teams approach the return game. It is no longer just about pure straight-line speed. It is about the ability to navigate traffic and burst through a specific gap at the right moment. Wooden's success in the CFL is the perfect audition for this. In the CFL, the field is wider and the waggle allows for different timing, but the core skill of being a return specialist remains the same: vision and courage. Wooden has both. My sources tell me the Browns' analytics department was particularly impressed with his yards after contact as a returner, which is a rare stat to lead in. It means he isn't just fast, he is elusive and tough to bring down. For a Browns team that often plays in low-scoring, defensive battles in the AFC North, a 15-yard improvement in average starting field position is the difference between a playoff berth and sitting at home. Now, let's look at the punting situation. Nick Constantino is entering a room where the standards are high. However, by bringing him in now, the Browns are creating a competitive environment. Special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone is a perfectionist. He wants a punter who can pin opponents inside the 5-yard line with consistency. Constantino's tape shows a player who understands hang time and how to use the wind to his advantage. If he can push the current starters or provide a reliable backup option, the signing is a win. Furthermore, these reserve futures deals are virtually cap neutral. They carry no guaranteed money in most cases and act as a trial period. If Wooden or Constantino don't perform during the spring and summer programs, the team can move on with zero dead cap hit. It is the definition of a no-brainer move for a general manager like Barry. But let's look at the broader picture. The Browns are currently in a window where they need to maximize every cheap contract they can find. With high-priced stars across the roster, finding contributors on rookie scale or futures contracts is the only way to sustain success. If Isaiah Wooden can become even a league-average returner, he saves the Browns millions that they would otherwise have to spend on a veteran specialist in free agency. My insider analysis suggests that the Browns are also looking at Wooden as a developmental wide receiver. While his primary value is on special teams, his speed makes him a vertical threat that defensive coordinators have to respect in practice. This pushes the secondary to stay sharp. As for the rest of the league, they are taking notice. When a team signs a CFL leader, it often triggers a wave of similar signings. We've seen this before with players like Cameron Wake or Brandon Browner. The Browns are being proactive. They are not waiting for the draft to address their depth. They are using every avenue available: CFL, UFL, and the waiver wire. This is why Andrew Barry is considered one of the sharpest GMs in the game. He understands that a championship roster is not just built on round 1 picks, it is built on the Nick Constantinos and Isaiah Woodens of the world. Also, we must consider the mental aspect. Bringing in players in January shows the current locker room that the front office is never satisfied. It keeps everyone on their toes. For the fans, it should be a sign of optimism. The team is already preparing for next year while others are still licking their wounds from this season. We also have to consider the coaching staff's role. Kevin Stefanski and his staff will have these players in the building early, allowing them to learn the playbook and the culture long before the rookies arrive in May. This head start is invaluable for a specialist. In summary, the signings of Isaiah Wooden and Nick Constantino are tactical strikes by the Cleveland Browns. They address specific needs in the return game and punting depth while maintaining complete financial flexibility. Wooden brings a resume of dominance from the CFL that cannot be ignored, and Constantino brings the leg strength required for the shores of Lake Erie. As we move closer to the start of the new league year, expect more of these Schefter bombs as the Browns continue to fine-tune a roster that is built to win now. The quest for a Lombardi trophy requires attention to every detail, and today, Andrew Barry proved once again that he is looking at the details that others might miss. This is the Cleveland Browns way: thorough, analytical, and always aggressive. We will be watching closely to see how these two perform when the pads come on in July. But for now, Browns fans should be excited about the infusion of elite speed and special teams potential. This is just the beginning of what promises to be a very active and strategic offseason for the organization.